Hello, fellow book dragons. I know it's been a while, but life is crazy, the world is crazy, and I sort of needed to hunker down and get my mind set before I started reaching out again. But I wanted to come on here and share with you some of the reading I did in February. I only finished one book, and this was called The Hour of the Witch by Chris, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Bohannon. Really enjoyed the book. It's historical fiction during the time of the witch hunts in New England. I enjoyed it because it wasn't the typical ones. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, and it's kind of hard because, like I said, it's not the typical witch hunt type books that I've read before. But I really enjoyed it. Good read. Little bit slow at the beginning, but once you catch on to the way the author writes, it kind of flew by. The other one that I read in February that's actually it's a do not finish for me at this point. It's called Let's Call Her Barbie. It was a book that I saw mentioned in another book group that I'm part of, and I love anything having to do with Barbie, so I was really excited to read it. But because I know a lot about the history of Barbie, it was a little tough book for me to read. The author's trying to kind of like walk the line between making it into a novel and still being historically accurate. So it was a little dry. I might come back and finish it at another time because sometimes I'll have books that I don't finish, but then my mindset changes and I come back and they end up being some of my favorite ones. I'm also started in February and still reading this book. It's a nonfiction book called Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. I am about halfway through. I'm reading about a chapter a day, sometimes a little less if something in there sparks something and I will need to go journal about it. But it's very interesting because it goes into the science of what makes introverts and extroverts, and also how those of us who are more introverted can still make a difference where we are and in our own way. But I'm finding this very empowering. It's by Susan Cain, and I would definitely suggest it, even if you are an extrovert but you have introverts in your life. This will help you understand them a little bit. Next up on my reading list, I have 3 books that I want to share with you. This one I'm especially excited to read. It's called Being a Woman is Fucking Hard by Vanessa Dufek. She is one of my best friends, so of course I had to go out and get her book. And what I really love, because as I'm flipping through it, I haven't read it yet, but I flipped through it, is it has journal prompts as well as call to actions. And I like having both of those because I feel like when you journal, you go inward and call to action is going to push you out. And I love journaling, and sometimes my mind gets stuck. And her journal prompts, I think, will keep me writing for a good long time. So I'm excited to read it. You can purchase this off of Ingram Spark. I know for sure, and it'll probably be on Amazon soon as well. The next book on my list is The JFK Conspiracy by Brad Meltzer. I have read all of his books, I think, at this point, or at least most of them. He writes novels, he writes these. He has one called The Nazi Conspiracy that I really loved because it went into the political side of World War II. That was very interesting. He's the author who writes, actually, I can just show you, the kids' books, the I Am series. And this one is actually signed because for my birthday, I got to go to a book signing of his. And so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. And what I love about his historical books is that he writes it in a way that is exciting. So you almost feel like you're reading a novel. So you don't realize how much you're learning until afterwards. You're like, oh, wow. But he has the Washington Conspiracy, the Lincoln Conspiracy, the Nazi Conspiracy, and now this is the new one, the JFK Conspiracy. And the one I just started yesterday, or the day before, is called The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. I picked this up at our local bookstore, Queen Takes Book. If you're in the Columbia area, definitely stop by there. Great bookshop run by voracious readers, so they can help you if you're kind of lost and trying to figure out what you want to read. It's great. I love their staff picks as well. This one was just one that I picked up because it looked very interesting. It has to do with after World War One and a brother and sister. Like I said, I just got into it, so I don't want to say too much of it yet because I don't know if I share any of what I read, if it will be a spoiler for you guys. But again, this is called The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Katherine Arden. So February's done. These are going to be my March reads, and let's see how many I can get through and what other things catch my attention between all of these. Have a great March.